There, my mom's handwritten recipe. Ahoy, I have 5 tips and tricks when it comes to food photography. Another month has passed. That means that we have to create another creative camera challenge. And since it's gonna be December, and that is all about festivities and celebrations and having a great time together and family time and delicious, very tasty, very smelly, nice food. And since maybe your better half or your mom or aunt or grandma or father, they all spend that time cooking and preparing all that, it is up to us, up to you, to capture it for them. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Zdenka Darula. If you enjoy photo and video tutorials, tech reviews and creative camera challenges, consider subscribing. First, we are going to look at the submissions from last month. The theme was macro, and I gotta say, you guys really liked this one. There were so many submissions on Facebook and Instagram. It was just overwhelming. Thank you very much for all submissions. It is so highly rewarding to see that you are getting the value from these videos and you are applying them in the real world of photography. Here are top 12 photos. It was so hard to narrow it down to 10, so I just left it at 12. There were so many beautiful photos again, it was so hard. So here are 12 photos in random order. Photo number 1 is from Photolight Park. This conceptual macro photo is very interesting. The written capture with the photo is, we think that we are running them, but the reality is that we are running ourselves. The photo was taken with Samsung J4, and by the way, this is a great photo to upload to stock. It's got great potential. Second one here is from Devis, and I love how the head is perfectly in focus. This is nicely done. Next photo here is from Valery. You are looking at a beautiful spider web full of water drops. This photo was taken with Canon 200D and Tamron 90mm macro lens. Photo number 4 is from Brett. It is inch warm on a pine needle, taken with a Nikon D5300, Nikon 105mm macro lens and speedlight. This is a great shot. Fifth photo here is from Mike, and it's a bee collecting pollen. There is no camera mentioned, but lens was Canon 100mm. Nicely timed photo. Next photo here we have from Peter, taken with Panasonic G9. You are looking at details of cicada. Very interesting photo. Terry submitted this photo of a bridge spider, which was photographed at the bird hide in Rutland water. Taken with Sony a7R II and Tamron 90mm lens, Godox flash gun and homemade diffuser. Really cool. Photo number 8 is from Nuno. I love the shallow depth of field, how the insect is perfectly sharp, captured with Canon 7D and macro 100mm lens. Thank you for submitting. Another photo here is from Donna. Stunning colors, awesome composition, taken with Canon M50 and 100mm lens. Beautiful. Next photo is from Pepa. Nicely captured dandelion dew with Canon 6D and Tamron SP 90mm lens. This photo was taken with a tripod and combined from 7 different photos focused on different areas. Great job. Look at the colors of this photo. Photographer is Peter, taken with Canon 5D Mark IV and 100mm macro lens. Beautiful shot. Last photo here is from Terry. I love this photo. This is stunning. Loving the capture too. Giant dark horsefly landed on my car in the rain. This is a male. You can tell there is no gap between the eyes and no biting mouth parts like the female has. Shot with Sony a7R II lens, Tamron 90mm plus 5 extension tubes and Godox flash gun with homemade diffuser. This is really impressive photo. Congratulations. Let's leave the macro world and let's move on to food photography. I've got 5 tricks for you. Tricks and tips. So here's the first one. Many of you will most likely option for natural light. So you will choose a nice table, set it very close to the window with lots of light. Well, natural light is the best when it comes to food photography, but modified. The sunlight can be very harsh and you will have very harsh shadows. So what you want to do first, grab a diffuser and place it between your window and the object you are going to photograph. And if you don't have a diffuser, then just use a bed sheet. It works the same way. Next, you want to grab a whiteboard like this one. It's kind of cheap, you know, you can get it in dollar store anywhere. And that will help you modify the light from the other side. So here we have a window, here we have your object. You will put the whiteboard right here on the other side and you will try to bounce back light onto the object to make it a little bit more interesting. You can also, on the other hand, use a blackboard. I don't have a blackboard here, so I'm just gonna use this, the diffuser inside. It kind of works the same way for me. I use it all the time. And when you place the blackboard here, window, object, blackboard, it will actually, as I say, soak in the light and it will create kind of dark side of the object. Tip number 2, before you start styling your food, take a very detailed look at it. Look at the subject you are going to photograph because you have to decide on angle. What angle you will photograph the object. Is it kind of low with a lot of details on the top? Is it the best if you're going to be taking the photo from above? Or is it a little bit higher? And is it going to look good if you're going to take the shot from the side? How about 45 degrees, kind of that way? When you take photos of food, use tripod for the razor sharp images. It will make a huge difference. Tip number 3, food styling can be very tricky, but it will make a huge difference in the photo. Normally we just grab a food, put it on a plate and put it on a table and that's how we eat. But if you want to take photos of it, you need to take your time and style it properly. And you can tell the story about the food in many different ways. When you are choosing a plate and a bowl to place your food onto, make sure you choose the best one you have in your house, because something like this chipped bowl is not gonna be very helpful. You can add cutlery, use fresh ingredients in the background. You can use spices and props that are related to food to sort of give an idea how the dish was made. If you're gonna be taking a photo from the front like this, don't forget to have the foreground and the background nice and blurry and the object crispy sharp. Don't be afraid to add items such as cloth napkin with nice color to bring a little bit the colors to the food. Or don't forget to sprinkle maybe parsley on the food, or if you are shooting a cake, don't be afraid to sprinkle it with the icing sugar to give it very interesting texture. Tip number 4 is here, and that is camera settings. When it comes to ISO, you want to keep it very low. So somewhere ISO 100, 200, I would not go higher than 400. Make sure you have a lot of light. If you have at home prime lens, something like nifty 50mm lens, I have one right here, and it's f1.8, then the aperture will actually depend on how much sharpness you want in the image. So I start at 2.8. Just a quick tip, if you want to find the sharpest point of the lens, the sweet spot is usually 2 to 3 f-stops above the widest aperture. So on the nifty 50 f1.8, I'll start around 2.8, 3.8 to 4.8. I will look for the most sharpness, the sharpest crisp photo. And when it comes to shutter speed, you'll just select it accordingly. Last tip is about editing the photos. I usually use Lightroom to edit my images, and first thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna cool down the image a little bit. So the white is very white, punchy and bright. Sometimes I bring the exposure up. Some people like to sharpen photos more. I prefer using clarity or a little bit texture to bring in the details and increase the contrast a little bit for a dramatic result. So those were my 5 tips when it comes to food photography. Now it's your turn. So you have until December 31st, 2019 to submit your food or drinks images for a chance to be featured in the next Creative Camera Challenge video, which will be in January. So now you can upload the images to Camera Challenge Facebook group, and the link is in the video description below, or you can upload them to your Instagram and use hashtag ZDChallenge11. Don't forget to include what camera and lens you were using, camera settings as well, what is the food all about, and if you want to share some story with us when it comes to the food, we are gonna be very interested in that. And as always, hit the thumbs up button if you like today's video, subscribe to all future videos like these. If you have any questions, comments, you want to say hello or ahoy, you can do that in the comment section below. And you know what? Let me know what other camera challenges you would like to do. Throw me some themes, challenge me for a change. I'll see everyone in the next one. Ciao, ahoy. Just like from my mommy.